Yo, what's going on, guys, bro? So, today, bro, it's been a long time coming. I ain't gonna lie. There's been many times over like the past 2 years since I took my little retirement hiatus, bro, whatever you want to call it. And it's like the first video that I've seen where I'm like, bro, I feel like I kind of want to make something. I haven't made nothing in a long time, but this dude right here, I wouldn't say he pissed me off. He irked me a little bit because there was like some hypocrisy in this video, and it starts off in like the minute point. So I'm just gonna say it here because once we get into the video, there will be some skipping because I'm not gonna lie, the dude just makes no fucking sense. Like, or not disrespectfully, he just does not make any sense. So he made a video about Gideon, talking about the EDP watch, and he didn't like how Gideon basically monetizes or advertises the EDP watch website stuff with the $5, using the likeness of like EDP because EDP got like exposed twice, didn't get convicted, and a whole bunch of other bullshit. And I feel like for dude to say that is a little bit disingenuous to like a lot of the work that people like Gideon, Skeeter Jean, Omna, and only because these are the niggas who came across my personal radar. There's only like four of them. And Alex Rosen. And I hate Alex Rosen. So if you would have made an Alex Rosen video, bro, y'all wouldn't have seen me in the Big Year 2-5, bro. No bullshit. I would have just been chilling. But I just didn't really vibe at all with like the shit that was going on, bro. Like I feel like dude was really just here. The rent is due for homie. That's what I like. That's what I'm trying to say. What I was saying, bro. Rent is due for homie. Like you out here making a video about Gideon and the EDP watch, and then like has a 2 minute fucking ad at the beginning of the video. So without further ado, we're just gonna watch this shit. There's gonna be some live commentaries. I'm gonna skip over some parts because I feel like most of it just regurgitated stuff. But I'll give y'all like a Cliff Notes version if you really want to watch the original shit, bro. If I'm not lazy enough, you can find the original shit down in the description. It's like 5 p.m. 2 days after the shit came out. Gideon said he's going to respond 19 hours ago, so maybe by the end of this shit, it might be a two-parter or it might just be a whole shit, but hey, who cares? Let's get right into it. I forgot to say, the reason why this shit's going fast because I'm going to pause a lot, A, and B, this motherfucker talks slow as shit. Like I get it, you want people to hear you and understand, and when you are actually out there talking, you want to make sure you're enunciating, pronouncing your words properly. But also, I feel like if you're also a really good and confident speaker, not saying that you ain't, bro, you do this for years, got more views and shit than me, must be doing something right. But people aren't slow. Like if I'm like at a wrestling event or you watch wrestling on TV, nobody's talking this slow, and I feel like that's the best thing. If you want to engage somebody's like actual like attention, just talk. Talk to them and not at them. I feel like we're going to talk that a little bit, which is why I'm speeding this shit up. But I'll be at point 0.5 instead of 0.75 because that shit is a little too fast for most to understand, but let's get back into it. So a wrestling child, well, he ain't gonna say, well, he's gonna say that. Like, what he say contradicts to what he's about to say. I'm just gonna leave that at that. It's gonna contradict. Blackberry High Noon. Got some mango popping bubbles in it. Fire. Alright, bro. You don't believe this shit belongs on YouTube? Fair enough. But my boy, they got JOI ASMR on YouTube. They got a lot of like softcore shit on YouTube that should not realistically be on YouTube. And instead of focusing on like that shit where it can actually like creep into like kids watching it, like you'd be like, oh, YouTube kids, da da da. Let's be for real. Parents who give their kids a fucking iPad, they're not doing that extra step. Niggas going download normal YouTube and call it a day. So having kids find the JOI at like the age of like 6, bro, is fucking wild. But I mean, I digress. And this is what I was talking about, bro. It's like a minute and 2 seconds it actually starts. This shit's already 6 seconds in. And literally, I shit you not, talking about fucking family lineage is some bullshit, bro. My heritage, yeah. Talk about your family lineage, bro, in a video that we're trying to talk about child exploitation, children's being like essayed. and like the overall content behind it, bro. And you're running an ad. I get it, you got to make money, but at the same time, we get later into the video, bro, you also can't be mad at Gideon for the EDP watch commercial. Is it a little bit tasteless? Yes, but let's be for real, bro. Gideon is one of the most like degenerate YouTubers in his like beginning. Nigga wearing his Best Buy shirt off, the bowling shit. Like he's gonna mention all this shit, bro. Like in the like the very last like what do you call it? The last fucking I'm blanking out right now. So sorry. But the last take of this that I did, bro, I did like 41 minutes of this shit, bro. So I'm trying to speed run it, so we're not here for 41 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, like I respect Dante, bro, because now I get why this shit just be taking forever whenever you be doing shit, bro. But I looked at this shit, bro, and it was like, where is it at? Me and my girlfriend, we share an account, so it's kind of crazy with all this shit going on. Shout out to Rotten Mango on her behalf. Shout out to Rotten Mango. But like, he talks about this shit, bro. And this shit, bro, like what came out? Okay, I probably say like 2021, whatever. It's about old Gideon shit and surprised that Gideon's commercial for EDP watch is tasteless. We don't care. There we go. Fair enough. And I feel like that's fair. And I feel like that's fair. I feel like this is like one of the good takes that he had. Like, regardless of what you do, bro, if you getting yourself in this situation, if there's any negative outcomes, bro, you brought that shit upon yourself. We've got the FBI talking about open up, brought it upon yourself. If you got Jitty on his security talking about, hey man, you come hop in an Uber, bro, like what 13-year-old you know who got money to drive a nigga from county to county or city to city, bro? What? Like, it is deserved. So he got his first dub of this video. Mm-hmm. And I feel like Gideon at this point has been doing it for like what? I want to say started either like early last year, so like early 2024 or late 2023 with like I think the first time I seen him on was like Skeeter or was Alex Rosen. Can't stand Alex, but long story short, I feel like Gideon did a lot of growth, and I feel like the issue of this whole entire video is really misplaced because I feel like the number one thing that really would highlight Gideon and like his like growth within this whole entire like space of like the EDP watch, like predator catch like stuff in general. I feel like it would definitely have to be the one that he did with the special needs woman. And I feel like he did that one with a lot more class than he did with like any of the other ones. Like as you can see, I'm not even gonna sit here and act like I don't watch the dude watch the videos. Like I actually fucking do. Like I sit here, watch all of them. Either like I watch it with my girl, or if like shout out I'm Dante on Twitch, bro. Like if he's watching it, bro, or if I can't watch the stream live, I'm watching it on his shit, bro. Cause like, I ain't gonna say here like it's not entertaining. It is entertaining, but I'm not gonna say it's like, you get my popcorn ready, nigga. Like, no, nigga. Like it's entertaining because like, you get to fully see and understand that like this shit can happen to anybody around you, not like only of like the children shit, but also like all these people for the most part like normal people you'd run into, or some of these people might just be like your homie and like shit like that, and it's like it is crazy and it is like like jaw dropping and shocking. But this one, which is like I finally exposed a woman. The woman had like some type of like cognitive like disorder, so she's not like fully there. And I think like one of the people in the video was kind of like, oh, like she has like the mental like fortitude like an 8-year-old, where I'm like, Gideon could be a dickhead. The whole video try to be funny, but like the whole time he's been like he was like super like when I mean like when I say this like I mean he's like really serious and taking it serious, like he's taking it so seriously. And like, I don't want to like sit here and harp on this, but I feel like with most of the guys, like everybody else, Gideon would have been like cracking jokes. Gideon would have been like way more disrespectful than this one. This one, because especially since he understood like the full like length of the situation at hand, he took it with much more precautions, which showed me that Gideon really does care for the most part of like what happens and what goes on in these situations. And it's not all just for views and for clicks. Like some of this shit, bro, like he really does care and does want to get to the bottom of it. And I feel like for his stuff and like more of the stuff that is, I wouldn't even say like To Catch a Predator, because I was more like if you're working with like the like true To Catch a Predator with like Chris Hansen and shit, like he's working directly one on one with law enforcement. I would say this is more like investigative journalism at bare like minimum. Like there is like a good fight that you could make for it. Um, but you know he has decoys, he has the proper stuff. He has like a Google Drive that the PD can like go and look at for like the person that they need to arrest. So like Gideon does do his shit properly in that regard. Am I a cop and a police officer? No, but like to also sit there, like he'll get to it very soon. I just want to make sure it's like when the video's going, I don't have shit to talk about. Um, it's it's crazy because like cops can't be everywhere all at once. They're swamped, and some places don't got like full blown like like many like departments within a PD to do shit like this. So when they do have groups like Skeeter, Alex Rosen for that matter, Gideon, Omna or Omna, I can't fucking remember how to pronounce that shit properly, but shout out to you too, bro. Um, it does really like it really does like help out those PDs in most instances. And I feel like if you really want to see like a negative interaction, I feel like there's like two where like Gideon had out to like the most recent one. I think it's the most recent upload that he had on his channel actually on Gideon Premium or for the Predator stuff was like with the Attorney General. I forgot. I think he's in some bumfuck state like Texas or some bullshit. But dude was not trying to at least like at bare minimum play ball because apparently they have like a department down there where you're supposed to run shit by. But like at the same time, I feel like with like certain law enforcement or attorney generals or like a lot of people like within these position of powers in the big year 2025, a lot of this shit needs to change in America. Like a lot of this shit is really archaic, and it really does like protect a lot of like bad people. There are like there are some like outliers like good people getting trapped, but 9 times out of 10, bro, the bad motherfuckers really gotta go, and at most times they just get a slap on the wrist. And I feel like with like groups like Gideon and them, like you want to call them vigilantes, sure, but my nigga, Gotham needed Batman, right? It's fictional, but it's true. It's just like the day when Batman died and the Joker had to take over. The Joker understood, bro. Like, damn, the shit that Batman did, Gotham really needed. And what did Joker do? He turned into Batman. If you ain't see that comic, bro, please read it. I tell you, it's a unique way to see at least like how vigilante works in terms of like the importance of it, especially in places where it's like super bad and like the PD just can't do too much. And I'm pretty sure if the real world had a Batman, bro, you would not make a YouTube video talking about the the bat went too far. Because to me, this is kind of like I ain't saying Gideon's fucking like Spider-Man, the true heroic and heroism department, but in terms of the memes and like trying to make a like a one-to-one comparison, this nigga August the Duck is J. Jonah Jameson, Gideon Spider-Man. This black man is a menace. Get him off the street. Like that's literally what it's giving. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. Like I get where dude is coming from, but like it's stupid. 14 minutes in on my end, so we're gonna get through it. You don't know how to explain how to create crafty criminals because they almost got caught. Huh. If the nigga got caught once, I'm pretty sure the nigga can get caught twice. And some of these people that they do interact with are like repeat offenders. So let's not sit here and also act like they, they have like a low rating or they're like letting these niggas go off like out in the streets for the sake of content, bro. Because also back to the last point, attorney generals, what are the AGs doing to actually help these people? And when I mean these people, I mean like these like groups, like T that. Dads against predators, I don't know about, but if I see another alley oop, I ain't gonna lie, bro. We need one for the culture. I ain't gonna lie. Everybody has their own unique way to handle these situations, and I feel like people like Skeeter, Omna, Gideon, Alex Rosen, like these people, like they do their best to not get, like they don't get physical. They're just really there to have a conversation with the person, and then law enforcement gets involved, which is equally equivalent as like not a bad thing. Like these people that they're showing, and it's not like they're blurring the predators' faces. You can see them. I don't know if August, if he's been in the workforce fairly recently, bro. Dude's a YouTuber, 2 mil subs, right? 2 mil subs, quarter of a million views. I I I want to say, bro, that like you do know that like they don't only like for job searches and just job like what do you call it? Yeah, I've been smoking, bro, just whatever. But like, long story short, if they really want to like look at the dude, bro, they could do like a background check. That's one thing. But those are social media checks, bro. And if any of these people that showed up on here, their picture pops up and it says EDP watch, this person came here to meet a minor, bro, they're packing that nigga up. So if it's not law enforcement wise, they're at least making their lives a little bit more difficult to actually coexist in life, and because they're like publicly shamed. So they may not go to jail, they may like strike again, but at bare minimum, they're at least doing something. Like instead of just sitting behind a computer making a video negatively about what they're doing. They're a vigilante. I hate Batman. I don't think people dislike you or Gideon fan base dislike you. I hate when you like YouTubers and everybody says shit like that. I just feel like a lot of people have different criticisms. Like when I die on a cross for Gideon, fuck no. When I die on a cross for any of these YouTubers, fuck no. They don't give a fuck about me, nigga. They don't care about me viewing their videos. Nigga, I die tomorrow. One new nigga who come across a fucking TikTok clip will take my place. I just feel like a lot of people just have varying opinions about it. Like, does Gideon what he does? Is it perfect? No. Nigga, it's life. Nothing's ever perfect, bro. You're not perfect. He's not perfect. Everybody's just out here trying to make a living, try to live, try to survive, and enjoy their life as most fruitful as they can be. Gideon, with so much clout and money that he's like has, he does not need to be doing to catch a predator shit, bro. This nigga can just strictly just stream and do reaction shit like most other YouTubers been doing the pipeline. And the same shit that they were hanging Jinx for a decade ago, they could do now, and it's a smooth. So I don't really think it's necessarily niggas just dying on the cross. I just feel like when people have opinions, YouTubers, streamers, content creators in general just don't know how to fully receive it back without acting like it's a whole mob of just like dick eaters, bro. It's not dick eaters, bro. People just have different variants of opinion. Like, do I agree that some of the shit Gideon does, how the predator catches, is a little bit childish? Yes. But this is the same nigga who went to a Dallas Mavericks game or some fucking basketball game, or Bucks, somebody, long story short, got a haircut courtside. Do you think or for that matter, any of the fans really think Gideon takes this shit like super serious to the point where like, this nigga's like, about to work at a PD? Fuck no. He's doing it serious enough where he's like getting law enforcement, putting together the data, hiring decoy security, probably helping with like gas mileage reimbursement for homeboy who got to be whipping all the people inside the Uber. Like, there's a lot of things that's going on, and I feel like dude just not making like too many good points. Like I know I'm rambling, but fuck. That vigilante Spider-Man, get him out of here. Get him out. Okay. Mm-hmm. Which is true. You don't get it. If you knew Gideon made degenerative content, you highlighting the degenerative content is literally proving his point. The negativity on YouTube will always surpass anything else that's positive. Which is why when people hate on Keemstar, I don't fucking get it. It's the big year 2025. Keemstar, yes. Keemstar and Drama Alert, pieces of shits. But you also can't say that in the same breath where you're doing the same exact thing, but just spinning the narrative a little bit. Like, oh, I don't do the same thing as him. I do commentary. It's not what he, bro. You're doing the same shit he did. Keemstar, drama commentary, TMZ. Like, he is the TMZ for content creators. I would say that like Keemstar kind of like navigated that pipeline of like drama. I guess you could say influencers or like drama reported for influencers, bro. It's kind of simple to like simple concept to understand. Which is very true. I would say it goes Skeeter, Gideon, Omna. That's it, bro. I can't. Those are the only three I can actually sit there and watch. Everybody else I have to turn off because I feel like when they do it, they try to impersonate law enforcement. All them niggas like they don't take it as seriously like as like trying to pose as law enforcement. They're really trying to have that conversation and like really get into the mind like of said predator and try to understand what drove them to do here and then try to make them not try to deflect or really feel like they're the victim and trying to spin it, but actually make them actually hold some type of accountability for what the fuck's going on. Do they crack jokes here and there? Is it distasteful when they crack jokes? Yes. But it's YouTube. It's content. Open, close. And that's a fair take. It is the better ones on YouTube. Like I really think that Homeboy thinks niggas really do what I just did when they're watching this part. Niggas start dancing and like, bro, no. 9 times out of 10, we seen this shit once. We skip past. We ain't watching the whole shit, bro. We get it, bro. 4.99, bro, to see all the logs. But I'll let it rock. I'll let it rock. Dude's a fucking narc. Any swerve in that corner, whoa, whoa. He upset of the editing style. From the same nigga he called a D-Gen 10 seconds ago, he's upset. I feel like it should be expected, so you're not shocked or like you're shocked and appalled. I get the content and the like what he's talking about is serious, but let's be for real. If you know niggas a degenerate, some shit will leak through. Is it memeing? Yes, but his team is literally called the EDP Watch after the EDP sting that he did with Alex. Hmm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Makes sense. I will say this is the funnier thing because when I first watched the video, I didn't peep this. But watch the green shirt nigga. When these two young ass girls walk by, bro, look how this nigga breaks his neck, bro. I will say, bro, get this nigga off the street. Kill him. Yet again, you just said this nigga's throwing a coconut ball in the middle of a fucking tournament. You want him to be serious. And you had a whole entire 2 minutes and like what 30 seconds worth of a fucking My Heritage advert in the beginning of something where you're talking about To Catch a Predator videos. This predator catcher went too far. You use that title for this nigga Gideon. When this nigga Alex Rosen is running around screaming the hard R in the middle of the streets at people, and he's the worst. I mean, my fault. Gideon went too far. Interesting. And not all the time, bro. You know they're going to get arrested. Yeah, okay. Gideon shit ends with handcuffs. Gideon shit ends with like indictment. Some people get charges. Some niggas get booked. Some niggas don't because some states just don't know how to like. I wouldn't say some states, like some PDs and like some AGs just don't know how to really handle cases like these. So instead of like saying like that, it's the bigger conversation should be like, oh, maybe some of the PDs and AGs really do like lock in and really try to help these like quote unquote like vigilante groups, as this nigga like to call them, like try to help them and be like, yeah, like if you're inside of like this county or this city, bro, there's this person's number, get in contact with them, let them know what's going on, when and where. We'll have like two unmarked vehicles nearby if anything happens, and then boom. And I think that's how the dude thinks it works, but no, bro. There is like an American police officer shortage, like first responder shortages all across the board, mind you. If we can't get firefighters, EMS, or like actual like police officers, bro, of course the shit gonna be half-assed. If the nigga got caught once again and he going to keep doing this shit, bro, he not gonna be that careful, bro. He's not gonna be that safe. Eventually, he gonna slip up. He gonna get caught. That's like saying, bro, somebody who went to go rob a store once, they almost got caught but didn't. He gonna be a lot more sneaky and craftier. I won't try to rob another store and another store after that. But the cops actually watch you, bro. Like if you rob in a store, and if they're starting to pick up patterns, okay, so we can obviously deduce that this store might get hit X day, and then boom, niggas get picked up. And I feel like that's the same thought process that could be put in here, whether it is the EDP people catching them or the local PDs have this person on their radar. So now they're like watching this person, and like I don't think that the like internet task force that like certain PDs have is actually nationwide, which also really does like hurt like this dude's point of like the conviction rate. It ain't Gideon's fault that the American police fucking suck ass. That's like an actual like systemic thing that needs to be addressed. Gideon can't work places. There's like literally not Gideon. I'm so sorry. EDP can't work places, bro. Every single time he's trying to work at different places, I think to try to work at like a Walmart, a Lyft, or an Uber driver, like he's been reported so many times that it's difficult for him to get a job. He may not be in jail, that's one thing, but the way that he makes income has been severely limited. And I feel like if he can't get a actual conviction, that's a partial win because they really are like really struggling and have to deal with the actual like choices that they made to get to that point. If dude didn't want that cupcake twice, And like, it's easy, bro. Talk to niggas your age. Go outside to a bar and meet somebody. Why are you fucking with children? Like, come on now, bro. Let's be for real. To play devil's advocate, people who really love true crime or people who want to be like decoys and start their own stuff like this, I feel like at least like having the accessibility to look at like what's going on and try to like break it down so you can like try to replicate it yourself in with your own group. It is the double edged sword where it's like, like not to his case, but to the case of like, yeah, you could help try to get some more of these people off, but back to his other point of like, but you could help, let some of these people roam. So I see that duality, but if people really take their time to really like look at the stuff, really study it, and if they really do want to try to like do it themselves, I feel like it could be like a really nice guidebook in a really like obscene way. It could be like a guidebook to help decoys actually like perform better when they're actually trying to catch people like this, or if you are trying to like just like expose people like doing this shit and like or even like help give it off to somebody who knows what they're doing. I feel like having these like I guess you could say like evidence journals or evidence shit for each individual, it kind of does make sense. To just write it off as like one completely weird thing in such a skewed angle is really weird to think about it in that aspect. I feel like it just went straight to the negative instead of like actually thinking for at least like 5 more seconds. Be like, oh, maybe I could see that, and like let me play devil's advocate with a different sentence. But just to jump there is a little bit more like it's a little bit self-telling. I ain't gonna lie. And I feel like that part, it's also extremely disingenuous too, because it's like, bro, 26, my nigga. Let's be for real. Like, the thing is, people comment. It could be anybody. It could be bots. It could be real people. It's just people who just taking this shit more as like jokes, less than face value. Um, but I do feel like with that, dude really wasn't saying much right there. I feel like that was just more or less projecting of like what he feels instead of like actually just like understanding of that like, oh, as a content creator I know that the comment section doesn't necessarily reflect who I am as a YouTuber like 100% of the time, because a lot of the shit really does come down to like parasocial relationships between viewers and streamers or viewers and well, this is like content creators for this scenario, influencers, whatever. um, and I feel like dude just does not like Gideon, which is like understandable. I get it. His like persona ain't for everybody, but to also sit there and be like, what Gideon is doing is putting more of these niggas on the street than actually locking them up. It's crazy work. It really is. Oh, and I will also say, bro, not everybody who watches like YouTubers and content creators really do use that function, bro. Like, nigga, I've been using YouTube for like I don't fucking even remember since when Chad, Matt, and Rob made that fucking fake alien video in '07, bro. I rarely leave YouTube comments unless I really do feel passionate about it, nigga. Some people they just spam that shit because they live on YouTube all day, and I feel like with a lot of people like that he's talking about, like, oh, the 16-year-olds are gonna go on, like, bro, no. I feel like you're just trying to make a like you're just trying to grab issues that don't exist to make them exist. I don't feel like I have to say it. I'll stop real quickly. I don't. I think Judy would vet to make sure you're not putting a child in actual harm's way, and I feel like that also negates the work that they do with the decoy shit. Because I do feel like that would classify that as like some weird shit. I don't remember if it's entrapment or something else, but it definitely classifies as something else. Because there was a video. I forgot who I was watching. Can't remember if it was like Gideon and Skeeter, like on Skeeter's channel or whatever. But it was a while ago when they thought like one of the decoys actually was under the age. So they thought that until they're like, oh, we can't do nothing if the person actually like is in terms of like doing this shit because like it goes from like decoys to using like an actual team, which is actually like that's how the predator can actually get off like from the case, not like in the pizza. But may I digress? Because I feel like this dude does have a hate boner, and it's showing. I feel like it's kind of self-implied. You wouldn't put a child in harm's way. Gideon, you see this shit, bro? You ever in Boston? Let me know, bro. Nigga said you're sick if you want to be out there, bro. I don't even think it's that. I just think like more people should be exposed to situations and shit like this, because I feel like it's not really like talked about in the namesake of like the actual work. If that makes any sense, like I feel like not many people take this shit seriously anymore, and I feel like what he's doing is putting like much more of like a real highlight on it. Like this shit really does keep going on. PDs can't get all around to every single case or do everything to make sure most of these niggas are off the street. And I feel like Giddy on them other people, you want to call them vigilantes, call them whatever, bro. They're doing the Lord's work, not doing this shit. That's the part I agree with. I ain't paying $5 a month to go, bro. But if you see the video, bro, I mean, hey, bro, just let me know, bro. Just let me know. Probably never happened, but shit, you never know unless you do the shit. I'd say it's subjective and objective. Everybody's different. Like I just said before, if you want to get into like this line of work and actually do this shit, yeah, I'd go. Do some people would see this shit like as a viewer, pay that $5 to get on this Jitty on shit and start poking the bear so they can like try to get their name up and out there? Yeah, I can see that. So of course you can't say you don't see or how people could want to do it. Like bro, it's fucking obvious. It's either you do it for the right reasons or you do it for the wrong reasons, as you stated throughout the whole video. Gideon do it for the right reason. Individuals go, it can be either or. And I feel like with even with that statement of like people see it differently, I don't see how. It's called not living life through like looking through one lens, and it's like looking through both. Like I get what homie's saying throughout the whole entire thing. It's not the issue of like what he's saying. It's the hypocritical point of like you can't say there's an issue of you know it's just the fucking EDP watch ad and then go off with the whole entire EDP subscription. Just say the subscription based model just ain't it. Maybe he did, but he kind of worded it a little fucked up, so it's really easy to get that shit mistranslated. So if that's the case, then shit, that's whatever. But like the way this dude goes about it just does not make any sense for like what's going on, like what you want to do. Like, do you really like? Are you really out here to try to work, or are you here to be funny yourself? Like, I feel like with Gideon itself, it's an easy target. It's a generous person trying to do the right thing. It's easy to kind of beat the dead horse with a stick, bro. But out of every single other YouTubers and shit that you could be covering, you're covering this. It's actually just just brain dead. I ain't gonna say the other word because people fucking burst retarded, just retarded. Some people might want to do it to learn about it, to do work within that field, or some people just like true crime. It's a whole genre, bro. We got law and crime, we got interrogation videos on YouTube, we got To Catch a Predator on YouTube. It's all inside the crime section, bro. So you can't just I don't see who would want to do it, bro. It's crime. It falls in the true crime category slash subgenre. I'd say rather. There's gonna be people who want to watch it. People want to look at fucking forensic photos so you wouldn't think people would want to look at this shit. I just feel like dude just. I just feel like he just lives in his own little bubble, and just don't be talking to nobody or trying to understand that people live different lives. Like, do I want to see this shit? Do I want to listen to the chat logs? Want to see friends' photos? Fuck no, nigga. I'm a brain dead nigga who play Call of Duty, bro. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Like to that level, more level, I care. But to that level, fuck no, bro. I feel like dude just trying to make a non-issue into an issue. What are we at? March 19th. I don't know where dude live, bro. But bro, rank can't be that high. It cannot be that high, bro. How should we view this plug? Not a big deal. It's Gideon. He's degenerate. If you already knew that, you made a video about the little coconut bowling alley bullshit, bro. Slam dunk home run, bro. Why are we still talking? I ain't gonna keep like playing the video. He's just gonna talk about that shit. The like, comment, subscribe. Bring that shit over here, bro. Bring that shit to me. Don't let this nigga keep it, bro. Bring it to me, please. So let's read a couple of comments, bro. I'm a little bored of that video. Sad part is I did a last video of the same shit, bro. It took me 41 minutes, and it still took me 41 minutes. So you know that this shit is, it's real. Thank you for the second video on me. I'll be sure to respond to this one as well. 21 hours ago. Hopefully that shit's coming out in the next 4 hours, because it'll be late. I never thought I'd see a crossover episode. August, you see, I have this opinion, the comments, and I took it personally. He can have an opinion, but other niggas can't have opinions. You don't have to take it. Some people ain't really, I wouldn't say to take it personally, it's just an opinion. If they fuck with Gideon, they gonna have their opinion to back their boy. It ain't really taking it personally. It's the same thing that you're doing with that comment. August is your boy. He has an opinion. People are barking back, but you don't want to hear or bark back or listen to the bark back of other people's shit. No, it's a bad take because you have a My Heritage ad in a video about bad ad placements into Catch a Predator videos. It's a bad take because he has an ad in a video where he's talking about no ads in videos because it's poor taste, or at least how he does it's in poor taste. But you still have a heritage ad in a video like this that's 2 minutes long. Make that make sense? So many people completely misunderstood the whole thing. I don't think people really misunderstood the whole thing. I just think it's some people who are really like super Gideon, but like I feel like there's also another part is that like it's just not that big. Oh, I like this one in the last one. And it got to my point of like why the $5 a month thing and like all that stuff. And I feel like Skeeter Jean, W dude, I feel like he sums it up pretty nice. Do you not realize that catching a predator isn't free, and most police departments don't even have the proper manpower funded to do so? Both of our cases results in arrest these days. We've got previous offenders, so leaving it to the police isn't always the answer. The point exactly. PDs don't have the manpower or time to do so. So if other people are taking it up and then handing all that evidence to them, it's really not a bad trade-off. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it wasn't the start of a drama. The manager stuff, it's actually insane. Yes, let's take all the calls on uncensored photos with pictures, pay to see them. It's clearly for money. It's super weird. Like, I fuck with exposing predators even if the law does nothing, but selling a membership to see creeps being creepy is wild. See, if he would have articulated it a little bit like that, okay. But in the same breath, like I said before, people got different reasons. I feel like for him sexualizing it with like the RP part of it, because obviously that's where that one's like kind of leading into, is a little weird. Because you acting like everybody's going to be over here talking about like, they like mustard on a beat, ho, freak dope, rap nigga, he a freak dope. Like, come on now, bro. Come on, bro. Like you can't sit here, bro, and tell me in the big year 2025 that we're purposely being this dense. We're purposely being this dense. Out of everything he could have had an issue with, he chose the ad, the membership to see this shit. Bro, there's true crime shit, bro. bro, there's so much shit, bro. Forensic photos. There's people who sell like fucking like documents to like certain shit, bro. There's like a just like some nigga on some website, seeing shit on Twitter, where nigga sells like actual like morgue pictures out there. And we already know what people gonna do with some morgue pictures. They ain't doing it for what do they say? For no educational purposes. This is the complete opposite of educational purposes. So it's like, bro, come on now. Like, of course, there's gonna be like the bad apples with the good apples, but just a blanket cover, like everything is just it's fucking it's weird and disingenuous. And I feel like when people like this get enough like I want when they get enough when they get enough gall to really sit there and sit on a high horse and try to preach to you as the viewer of like how to feel, and you're down here just like soaking it up without actually like challenging back, or at least having like a true like I guess say like a difference of opinion, or not opinion, but a different outlook on the situation. I feel like it's just so weird and counterintuitive. So I feel like if this shit ever gets on this dude's radar, you probably won't talk shit the whole time. I ain't gonna lie. But it's like also like as a viewer, you also have to like understand that like not everybody agrees with that sentiment, and it's okay. Like if you as a content creator, if you can understand that and be like, okay, it's fine, it's whatever. You cool, but if you sit there and actually have to force people to kind of like, you're kind of coercing people to feel some type of way. If you would have said the EDP watch shit right for that whole entire ad, if you would have said like, hey, it's disingenuous because you're profitizing off of all that stuff, but not only that, you're not giving this money away to like actual like charities and things. That doesn't work. That's one thing. That's fine. It's whatever. But just to make a nothing burger into a nothing burger still, and still think that you did something, bro, is crazy fucking word. Anyways, guys, this shit's been about like 47 fucking minutes of bullshit, bro. Shout out to Bella, bro. Shout out to Bella, bro. That's my homie. But as the my favorite diss track went last year. We see y'all in the next one. Gideon, keep it up. Ugly motherfucker, bro. Just fuck with somebody else. Beat your ass and hide the bobble if a guy watching.